Players, welcome to episode 147 of Player Life. It is Tuesday, the 27th of July here in Tokyo, Japan. And today, I'm going to talk about how to get over approach anxiety um, when, approaching chicks. That is going to be the topic for today's show. Um, Seems to be an issue for a lot of guys. You know, and there's no way around it really. You actually you have to get over it because when you're gaming to get with chicks, you have to be social to some degree. But yeah. Other than that, all is good, all is well here in Tokyo. Have my morning coffee, just up. Um, Wade Emery in the house. What's up, brother? Hope you're well. Hope you're good. Um, yeah. I've been doing these day game boot camps here in Tokyo where I'm teaching guys cold approach, teaching them how to pick up girls, demonstrating to them, in real life, why day game, why cold approach is the best way to source women. So that's why I decided to talk about this today. But before I get into that, I found this funny Insta page. I'm gonna share it to show you that white women are really not okay. Man, this page is funny. It's called Karen clips, and there's just no shortage.
It's always been great. You just don't know any better. You've never been out of the country. Have you ever been to a third world country? Probably not. Where? Mexico. Oh, and it's better there? Is it better there? Last question. If America's not the greatest country, why does everybody keep trying to come here? Sucks.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't think America's the best country anymore. Sorry to say. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, unfortunately, America is not the greatest country anymore. Let's see.
Your mom's gotta be real proud. Your mom's gotta be proud. Have you ever heard of a butterface? Yeah. Yeah, big. I'm looking at when he's that big. My body, so how would everything? Yeah, what's up? I feel so sorry for you. You better fucking quit because I'm 2 seconds from stalking you. So fucking stop. I've got my 10-year-old with me. So yeah, quit. That's right. Get the fuck out of here. Example. Get out of here. This is a bad example for your 10-year-old. Literally leave. I'm not. Oh, stop. You're going to be a hoe, apparently. Don't have fun. Don't have fun. We got to carry it. Go fuck yourself. Bye.
It's funny because I don't know, in Japan you would never find Japanese chicks threatening to hit each other, let alone actually hit each other. It's just not going to happen. Just not going to find it.
So I have this thing, call it a little quirk, if you will. I have hair in my armpit. I have it there for a few reasons. 1, lazy. 2, fuck the patriarchy. And 3, your response to them tells me everything I need to know. So I have this thing, call it a little...
Yeah, China's going to win. China's gonna win. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I really don't. But yeah, not good. Not a good. Not a good. Yeah, Western society. Not good at all. I don't like the way it is. But yeah, if I were you, I would. I would try if you can. Like if you could get out, you know, for a while. I would try. Asia is not bad. Asia is not a bad spot. I'll tell you that much. Let me share something else that I saw today.
What colors too? I'm a feminist boy. Watch me be a man who has all the feels. I can laugh, cry, sing, and still keep it real. I don't have to be tough just to get respect. I know words, not fists, so arguments. Watch me be a man who doesn't only wear blue. White can't pink and purple. Be what colors too. I feel bad for macho men who won't wear sparkles. Those old color codes are so patriarchal. Macho, punch, tough biker. That is so passe. That is not my future. Macho, brag. Oh, you're annoyed. That's so toxic. I'm a feminist boy. Watch me be an Asian man who plays leading roles. Cause it's not just white dudes who can be heroes. Well, you got more than Jackie Chan, you got more than Disney. Watch out, Hollywood. Here's life starring me. Watch me be a baller like Jeremy Lin. I got game, no need to be as tall as him. Don't need to be big just to be a winner. Don't need to be a girl to help cook dinner. Give it up for the feminist boy. He knows that we are playing coy.
Yep. So there you go with more of the propaganda. You know, it's clearly, I don't know. There's so much propaganda out there. It's clearly a depopulation strategy. It couldn't be anything else. You know, just so It's just so relentless and so pathetic. Anna V says, I can't seem to evade the feminist boy video today. Indeed. They are spreading it around. Spark55 says, they say the red pill does God's work. Well, then the elite does the devil's work. True. Yeah, so, you know, there's already... The current generation of Western men are bad enough as it is. Imagine what it's going to be like in 5 years or 10 years. Oh my God! When all the kids grow up, you know, it's going to be such an intolerable society to live in. I don't know what kind of world it is, but the whole thing about getting red pilled is that you change your own world, because you come to terms with the fact that you're not going to save the West. Like you're not going to change the overall you're not going to change the tide. Red pill is never going to change the tide. We can all be like, oh, it's people are going to wake up, it's going to change, we're going to go back to the we're going to go back to the good old days. And it's like, no, you're not. You're not going back to the good old days. It's like, I don't think it's going to get better for decades. It may never get better, I don't know. It sounds very pessimistic, but, you can make your own world better, by being, awakened to the truth and just not getting caught up in the bullshit. Spark 55 says they are literally teaching them to be betas, cucks, disgusting. Yeah. It's Iowa X says almost makes you feel sorry for women. Yeah, not really, because I mean, sure, it's bad for them, but you know, they have to. Women are the ones that have pushed this in a way, have pushed it the most. They're the ones that support it. They're the ones that push this shit. Um, you know, I don't feel bad for white women at all, particularly white women, because they've been the most traitors out of they've been so traitors to Western men, and just their fathers, brothers, ancestors, everyone. They're just white women are the biggest enemy of white men, in my opinion, in Western society. They're the ones that I don't know. That's a whole other rabbit hole you could go down, but yeah, I don't feel sorry for them. I laugh at them because women are the ones that are going to lose out at the end of the day. Women are the ones that they're the ones that will lose out. They are losing out. It's not like something that's going to happen in the future. Western women are losing badly. They're down bad, like they're down real bad. um, because you know, at the end of the day, like men have a higher tolerance, or men can get by in life while not ideal. No, they can get by completely fine by being single, and by being it's like I said, far from ideal, but they can get by being kind of like incels or whatever, like having their video games, eating pizza. I guess they can be reasonably happy, even though it's definitely obviously obviously living a player lifestyle is like infinitely better, infinitely more fun to get pussy. But as a man, you could go through your whole life. You don't need to have kids or whatever, and I guess you could be somewhat happier or whatever. You could be, but for women, I don't believe it's the same. I don't believe they can. Like, you know, for a man to bust a nut, that's it's nothing. But for a woman to, you know, not have a kid, or for a woman to have a kid, that's a huge deal. You know, um, it's like what I said. I made the comparison that a woman never having a baby is like a man never having sex. Um, and it's kind of true. Uh, you know, it's like it's similar if you think about it. Um, I just don't think and they're just not having kids by the millions. Just get it because they've been so socially conditioned. They've been told, oh, it's bad for the environment, and maybe it is, but they've been given all this propaganda, and then not only that, but they've been there's just a crazy, crazy amount of propaganda out there. There's like Western women shouldn't have kids because it's racist, or because or white women don't want to have kids with other white men because they're worried it's racist. It's crazy. But they're and then on top of that, they're told um that they're equal to men, they're the same as men, that they can have kids at any age. They can wait. There's they can get a they can you know they're entitled to a high quality man, 6 foot, 6 figure income. Crazy shit. I mean, if you want to hear crazy, go on, listen to the Fresh and Fit podcast when they have like around, one of those late night streams where they have all the women on. It's absolutely wild, man. I cannot believe like some of these women, some of them are average at best, caked in, like they're doing their fucking best to look their best, and they're average, man. Some of them are worse than average. Big fucking bitches, but they're talking about wanting to get with guys that are like, absurd amount. Like somebody's going around asking these girls like, how much should a man have to earn? And they're like, money's the most. If they're talking about guys wanting guys to earn 500K a year, and they have no clue that like guys that earn $500,000 a year are in the top percentile. They're so fucking innocent, these bitches. God damn. So fucking stupid. And then these other bitches, like, oh, I'm willing to, put up with a guy until, he gets his shit together and, and eventually he'll become like Jeff Bezos. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about, bitch? Like, thinking that every normal guys can, turn out like Jeff Bezos and get that rich. Yeah, these bitches, man, they're so deluded. They're living in like a fairyland. Like they're not based in reality whatsoever. They have just, yeah, they have no idea what's going on really. Yeah, and they're just gonna, I don't know. Best case scenario, they're gonna be like single moms, or I don't know what it best. There is no good case for them. Like it's all bad. Gabriel E in the house. What's good? Warrior Son of Wanderer says these chicks who shave their heads are the worst, bro. Indeed, indeed. Yeah, not many chicks can pull it off. Not many chicks at all. Short hair, yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I definitely prefer long hair. Shaved head, I've never seen it. I've never been attracted to a girl with that has a shaved hair. Shaved head, that is. Shaved hair, absolutely. Shaved pussy, absolutely. But hair on the head, they should have hair. Long hair, preferably. Iowa X says those fat and fresh chicks, fat and fresh chicks, could not make it into a college frat party at a decent school. Yeah, I mean, occasionally there's some hot chicks on the show, but um, just the entitlement of these chicks is wild, man. It's yeah, if it is for that reason alone, for exposing that, man. I don't know. Are chicks like that in Miami? Is is that the norm? Are all chicks from Miami that entitled and fat and just and so full of themselves? Do they all think that they're such hot shit? Like what's going on in Miami? Um, I don't know. I don't think I could live in Miami. Maybe it'd be fun, but if people were like that, if people were like, if chicks were like that, I would never be able to tolerate it. I would just be like, what the fuck? Shut the fuck up, bitch. All these bitches thinking they're gonna date a celebrity or, become a celebrity themselves. Man. Gabrielle says 6-figure earner versus 6-kid baby mama. She's a prize. Yeah, and the chicks going on that show talking about, oh, it's just so hilarious. They're so deluded. They think that even though they, some of them even have kids, and they're talking about, still being entitled to get a high quality man. I ain't gonna settle for no average guy. It's like Jesus Christ. I mean, Spark 55 says the entitlement is honestly astounding and cringe. Have to agree with that. IOX says all over the USA, 49ers, fours, I think they're nines. Yeah, all over the USA. It's so rare that I see. It's so rare that I see hot American girls in Japan. Hot Western girls in Japan in general. And if they are hot, man, are they gonna have a dirty little stinking attitude. Man, oh man. They have such, if you find a hot Western chick in Japan, they will have the most obnoxious, cheeky attitude ever. Um, you know, usually 9 out of 10 times they're gonna be super on board with all the progressive mad shit. Not only American girls, but just Western girls like Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, UK, Canada, America. You know, even no matter if they're hot or not, if they're in Japan, 9 out of 10 times you're gonna have this stinking fucking libtard ideology, and they're gonna be like, looking that they'll, because I'm a white dude in Japan, that they'll, oh, you're, I know why you're in Japan. Shut the fuck up, bitch. But no, I'm not a fan of, the ones I've come across anyway have not generally not been. I haven't really wanted to spend much time engaging with them. Um, it's just it's hard to stomach people who give off that obnoxious vibe. Just like it's hard to I'll just okay, I'm done. I'm not even gonna tolerate talking to you for a second longer. Um, uh, Crimson Eclipse says, "This is the clown world that Sims have created. The Jacksons and Harveys on social media have only made it worse." First time, I'm not sure what Jacksons and Harveys refers to, but I think I can imagine. Gabrielle says, "Winter's coming. Still summer here in Japan, but it won't be long coming." IOX says, "I liked meeting a Western chick in Japan after she had her ego beat down for several months." Yep. I mean, yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't met any. Very taller. I have, like, not to say I've never met. I've met a few, but it's only been a few. Usually, like I said, they'll have this really fucking intolerably annoying libtard agenda. They'll kind of be even more obnoxious to me because I'm a white male. They're like, oh, like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Oh man. Yeah. Farhan says, "Do you think you would have better result in Eastern Europe or Russia compared to Japan?" Honestly, I can't really say because I've never been to Russia. I have been to Eastern Europe. It's hard to know, but the reason Tokyo is such a good place to do game is because it's number one, because there's such an abundance. It's literally a fucking abundance of beauty. Like even just population wise. So first of all, you have the population, right? It's just a fucking densely populated city, right? And that alone is good for game. That it makes doing game, it makes it an ideal place to do it. Then on top of that, you have out of that population, there's a lot of hot chicks there. So I don't know if it would be better than Tokyo, where I'm at here in Tokyo. Just because like there's so many, like you go to some spots to do day game here in Tokyo, and there's just like you can do like spam. It's just like it's like throwing out like you will get rejected a lot, but it's just there's a lot of opportunity to approach because there's going to be like nines and tens. There's just going to be sixes, sevens, eights. Most of them are going to be like I don't know what most of them are going to be. There's just going to be tons of hot girls out in Tokyo, in certain locations, anywhere actually. So yeah, to answer your question, I don't think I would have better results in Eastern Europe or Russia because I don't think they're densely populated enough. Um, and yeah, for that, probably for that reason, and maybe they're not going to have as many hot girls. Um, you know, I mean, I don't have yellow fever. I just have hot chick fever. Some people are like, "Oh, you're in Japan because you only like Asian chicks." No, I like chicks. Honestly, I mean, if their chick is hot, it's more about the shape. Yeah, it's not about. I'm not about. Honestly, I've been attracted to chicks of all ethnicities, but it comes down to more like which ethnicity has more hot chicks, and apparently, from what I see, uh, yeah, Asian chicks tend to be, tend to have more hotter chicks, um, you know, per capita, per capita, you know, um, that's the way it is for me, man. I'm attracted to hot fucking ass. Like I like just I'm not gonna discriminate. Honestly, it's and it's not even I see a chick with a nice booty. I don't care if she's African, Asian, white. I'm gonna be trying to tap that, like for sure. Um, but yeah, if it's undeniable. If you come to Tokyo, if you come to Japan, you're just gonna be like, holy moly, what the fuck? How? Who did? Why didn't anyone tell me about this before? How come no one told me about this before? Like that's what you're gonna be saying. That's what I was like when I first came here. How come I didn't know? Like, I don't know. I didn't really come across that many. The Asian chicks I saw in Ireland were usually not. I never really saw really hot Asian chicks in Ireland. So I was like, I didn't expect, you know. Actually, I saw like Asian chicks that weren't hot usually in Ireland. It sounds kind of, I don't know, maybe it sounds kind of racist, but I don't know. My image of Asian chicks was not very, they weren't very attractive. Um, I don't know. I always thought they were too skinny, and I don't know. You know, I don't know. But yeah, um, yeah. That's just when I came here back in 2015. My mind was kind of blown. I was like, "Holy shit! They did not. They don't send their chicks really abroad, do they?" And they really don't actually. Japan has a very low rate of emigration, um, very low. Like Japanese people, they're self-reliant. They don't emigrate. They stay in Japan. Like so, the hot chicks don't leave Japan. Like 99% of them, 99 point probably 9%, only a tiny percentage of Japanese people in general move abroad to live abroad. So, you know, you come here, you'll see what's up for real. Um, uh, heavy tricep extension. Do Japanese guys go for Western girls? Um, Probably, apparently. Um, it's kind of like you know, one thing Japanese people say to like Western guys is that they'll say she's not hot, or you can't judge what they'll say Japanese people think that Western guys get with only the ugly Japanese chicks. Well, some of them do, and then some of them think, oh, that it's really easy, and they have the stereotype that we can just clean up just because we're white, and it's bullshit. And sometimes they say that in a passive aggressive reasons. They'll be like, oh, it's so easy for you to get Japanese chicks, and it's like they're not saying it from a good place. They're saying it from a real dickish place. But um, to answer your question, probably I'm not a Western girl, but I don't really observe too much. But I think they do. I think they like. Yeah, I think I think they probably have a poor judgment of what is hot and what is not. Mm, they probably do. The other thing is, Western chicks that come to Japan might actually, they probably, and not all of them, but I guess some of them would actually like Asian. They like Asian guys, so you know, um, I don't know though. I think most Japanese guys would not go for Western girls. Most of them would not, and I don't blame them for not going for Western girls because Japanese girls are like infinitely hotter, man. More petite. Japanese girls are fucking fine. You know when in what you say a girl's fine. Japanese girls are literally fine. Like literally speaking, like their attention to detail when it comes to taking care of their bodies is like it's fucking sexy, man. It is sexy. Girl, I'm at I'm banging this girl right now, and she spent like $150 on her nails alone. Like, and girls will spend that like per month. Like that's only her nails. Like they get their nails done like perfectly, not like shit, not like shitty like glue on. You know things that Western girls will do, like glue on like pound store kind of nails. No, these girls go to like a proper salon and get like really like I don't know. It's sexy. I don't know. I don't know. They take care of their bodies in such a you know it's stiff competition over here in Japan. Like girls, their skincare, like they'll do like laser hair removal. Like they'll have the softest, most feminine bodies. Like you won't believe it. Um, but yeah, it's I don't. Western girls can't compete with that. They don't spend. They don't do that. They don't spend that much time. Western girls on taking care of their bodies. They just don't. And then Japanese girls are, they'll diet. They're healthier as well. Japanese girls are like they're kind of like they'll eat pretty healthy, I guess. They don't drink too much. They don't smoke. They don't smoke too much, or they don't smoke at all. They'll go to yoga and stuff. Um, I don't know. They're just sexy creatures. Got to be said. Gabrielle says, Mac, have you ever had a black chick? Yes, I have. A few times. Not that many, but I have had a few. And yeah, I, yeah, I have had a few. Had a few. I don't see as many. I don't see as many hot black chicks. Uh, I like I said, I can be. I've definitely seen hot black chicks, but like comparing to what I see in Japan, I don't see. It's rare for me to see a black chick that I think is super hot. Um, but sometimes I do, and I'm like, damn, holy shit, because I like Uh, IOX says a Japanese butterface is still not too bad. All right. He says not Blasian. No, I've been with fully black girls before. And I've also been with a Blasian chick. Uh, yeah. Um, intra Blasian chicks tend. I've noticed in Japan, Blasian chicks tend definitely not to like white guys. I don't know. Apparently, I don't know where I heard this, but chicks tend to go after guys that are somewhat. It's kind of fucking weird, but apparently chicks tend to go after guys that are somewhat similar to their fathers, and I think 9.99%, 99.9% of the time, the father is going to be black and the mother is going to be Japanese. I'm not. That's a random guess, but I don't see many Japanese men going after hooking up with black women. To be honest, I don't think I've ever seen that. Actually, I've never seen a couple. I'm not saying there aren't any, but I'm just saying, like, statistically, I'm sure that 99 and all the Blasian girls that I've ever talked to have all when I got talking to them, all it's their fathers that are black and their mothers are Japanese. And I think it's very similar to white. When it's usually the father is white, the mother is Japanese. It's not usually that the woman is white and the father is Japanese. But so yeah, I think I've always gotten honestly, I don't get too much of a good vibe off the Blasian chicks in Japan either, to be honest, because it's just not fashionable to be a white dude. Like it's contrary to fucking popular belief, contrary to all that shit. All this like, oh yeah, it's so easy because you're white. It's not fucking. It's not like it's not hip. It's not cool to be a white dude. It's like with all and these chicks are so susceptible to this fucking social media fucking bullshit and all this all the mainstream media, like all the BLM stuff, all the fucking white racism, far right. So even in the past couple of years, but in the past couple of years, anytime I met a Blasian chick, there's been kind of like maybe not not that great of a vibe. Um, or at least they weren't interested in hooking up or whatever. That's the kind of vibe. But just from personal experience, that's my personal experience. Um, so yeah, I think Blasian chicks in Japan would definitely prefer, from what I see, prefer black guys to to white or any other race. I think. And there's this thing like chicks are the most racist when it comes to selecting a mate, selecting like guys. Chicks are super like selective in terms of race. Some chicks will be like, oh, I'll only date black, I'll only date white, I'll only date Asian. Chicks are like that. I don't see many guys. Some guys are like that, and to be honest, I'm suspicious of guys that are like I'm like what how are you like like I'm just in like I said I mean it. I'm not saying it to be like oh PC and I'm so open minded. Oh, I'm so like oh no I'm literally I just like hot chicks. Like if she's fucking hot, if she's a fat juicy ass, she's a small little waist, she looks sexy, I'm gonna want to smash. Like I don't care if she's black, she's white, she's Asian, she's Blasian, she's mixed. I want to tap it if she looks good, right? That's I don't understand like guys that don't think like that, but each to their own. But from what I see, chicks are not like that. Some chicks are super fucking racist when it comes to dating. Chicks would be like, "Oh, I'll never date a white guy," or it's like, "Oh, I'll never date a black guy," and it's like, what? Like, I don't get it. I don't know. I'm not. I'm just not. Can't think like that. Um, I just want to smash if it's juicy. It's got that juice. It's got that shape. You know. I'm gonna want to be in that. The East-West Connection says native Asians who don't go abroad are the best. Indeed, indeed. When they go abroad, they get tainted. I think MLD coined that one. They get tainted real bad for the most part, and they'll have a sense of yeah, they'll yeah, they you know, I think when they go abroad, they become what we call here in Japan gaijin hunters for life. And usually, the thing about Asian chicks that go abroad is they get tainted really badly, and they're probably very or extremely depend. You know, I'd say for the most part, quite promiscuous when they go abroad, and they get jaded, and they get a sense of superiority, or they start getting very obnoxious, and they buy into all the Western, you know, kind of progressive ideas, and yeah, they become very intolerable, very annoying. Um, Farhan says Japan seems very interesting, but the language barrier make it difficult for me personally compared to Russia, or where sometimes they can talk in broken English. Yeah, that's the other thing. I mean, the language barrier here is it's obviously if you cannot speak Japanese, you're at a big disadvantage, and you're going to be dealing with the Gaijin hunters, the jaded Gaijin hunters, and it's not great. I mean, it's better than honestly, it's probably better than being in the West, but um, still, yeah, I'm so glad I made the effort to learn Japanese, because I can really go outside of that circle. I don't have to deal with gaijin hunters and their obnoxious kind of entitlement. Um, the gaijin hunters are pretty much like they're pretty much like Western chicks, except usually, yeah, let's just say, you know, on average, I'd say hotter, but they're a milder version of a progressive. You know, you have your mild, your medium spicy, and your super spicy. You know, your gaijin hunters are like the medium version of a progressive, I guess, or a mild. You know, but still they're still progressive and annoying. But yeah, yeah. Again, 9 out of 10 times your gaijin hunter is going to, you know, buy into all that like BLM, and you know any kind of Western, you know, social media, so the mainstream media narrative, they're going to have bought into it. Um, but yeah, you know, maybe I'll just get into the, you know, talking about how to get over approach anxiety. Um, you know, so yeah, like I said, recently been doing you know, boot camps in Tokyo. I've always said like you know, the goal for doing you know, day game and cold approach is to incorporate it into your daily life. If where, you know, you're not going out spending, you know, 2 3 hours a day, or whatever, you're not going out in your free time specifically to do day game. And you know, because and honestly, it's just the best way to do it, because you know, you're not wasting time. You're always on. Like you're literally, it sounds corny or whatever, but you're living the player lifestyle. Like you're always on. You see a hot chick in the supermarket, you see, and you're just tuned in. You're like, boom, I'll roll in, I'll get her number. Yeah, I'll try and get her number, and you know, that's it. That's the player lifestyle. That's what you're doing. That's what, you know, you're just trying to source new chicks, and that's do it, and you're smashing new chicks on a regular basis. That's how you do it. But you know, there is something to be said for for you know, going and, you know, when you first start doing game, to like, you know, going out there and approaching, you know, as many chicks as possible in your free time. just when you get started, just so you can learn as soon as possible, you know, so you can get over the whole approach anxiety, you know, and figure things out, you know, and get used to approaching girls in different, you know, daytime scenarios, you know, like basically, you know, putting yourself in uncomfortable situations just to challenge yourself and, like, you know, figure the whole cold approach thing out. And then, you know, you will you'll realize that it's you know, it's not that big a deal, and that you can just replicate it as many times as necessary until you get enough, you know, enough contacts so that you can eventually start smashing a percentage of the contacts. Because the thing is, right, this is what you do. The thing is, it's like, first of all, you know, you're sourcing. That's what you're doing. You're sourcing these girls. You're sourcing girls. You're approaching these girls to get their number, to make a little bit of a connection, and mainly to get their number, to put them on the sales list. And the sales, you're obviously not going to sell to 100% of the sales list. You're not going to meet. Um, you're only going to meet even a small percentage of the girls' numbers that you get. So that's the, you know, that's the way you have to think about it. But so it's like, you have to be very, you know, relentless about it. You can't be going out and getting satisfied. You know, you approach a really hot girl, you get her number, and you feel like, kind of, yeah, I got her number. I feel like, yeah, and I start counting your chickens before they hatch, kind of thing. It's like, dude, you got her number, good job, but that's only the first step. Like, you need to replicate that like 10 times. I would say a good number. See, the thing is, like, I would say getting more than 10 numbers at a time is almost too much. Like, you can reach a point where it's like, okay, you're getting too many numbers now. I mean, it's good problems to have if you're getting too many numbers. I mean, you're doing something right, but it's like, it's not like you can get, like, if you get 100 numbers, say you go crazy and you make like, you get, just let's just say you went out one week and you got 100 numbers, you were fucking you approached like 1,000 women or something, you end up getting 100 numbers. Like, if you just like forget about all those numbers, and you just say you just don't you know, you don't message them for a month or whatever, like, chances are that all those numbers are duds now, because like they're cold. The leads have gone cold. um you know, that's what happens. You know, it's not like it's permanent. Oh, I got her number, yeah, it's permanent. Sure, you can message her, but so much, like, time kills all deals. Like, time literally does, and it's the same for dating. Time kills all deals. It's like, these girls see you and they won't even remember who you are, and it's like, you know, it's just, it's done. So I would say, like, a good number to have, and it sounds like a lot even, but like 10 fresh new numbers. You should be getting them in batches of 10. Like, you should get like a, you know, 5 to 10 new numbers, and then rinse them. What I mean by rinse is that you rinse them. Like, you check to see if any of them are going to meet you. You know, you do the whole, you know, remember, no free attentions, but you throw out the bait. You, like, try and set up the date with all those 10 chicks, you know, within a, you know, you don't leave it, like, you don't leave it a couple of weeks. You don't let them go stale. Ideally, as soon as possible. Like, the most ideal situation is when you get a number and you meet and smash within a few days or a week at most. The longer it goes on, the less chance of smashing. You know, it becomes less and less. Um, you know, if you start talking, like, if it's a week, if it, you know, by each day that passes, actually, the chances of meeting and smashing become less and less. You know, you could meet a chick, get her number, you know, she could be into you, she could think you're hot or whatever. She could want to smash you, but you know, um, let's say she's busy. She says, "Oh, I can meet you in 2 weeks or whatever," and then you're like, "Okay, 2 weeks," and she's genuinely wants to meet you, but then a week and a half later, another guy approaches her, and or whatever, even online dating or whatever, and she perceives him to be hotter than you, then he takes your place. That's what happens. That's why time kills all deals. Boom, he gets moved into that slot. You get thrown out. So that's why you want to meet these girls as ASAP. ASAP, you want to meet them, you want to smash them, boom. Either, you know, one pump and dump or keep them on rotation. Depends. That's what happens. Like this is why these deals go stale. This is why time kills all deals. But you know uh yeah, you should be getting batches. Like, don't be getting satisfied with getting one or two numbers. Like, it's not enough, really. And the thing is, it could work. You could get one or two numbers. It's very possible that you could smash both of the girls that but chances are, um you might not smash either of them. Two numbers isn't really enough. It obviously depends on the quality of the approach. um but yeah, just getting back to a little bit more about the how to get over approach anxiety. The thing is, for guys that have never, engaged or done anything like day game before, it is a nerve wracking thing to do. It's like, for some reason, who knows why, but it is a nerve wracking thing to do. Even some guys that are brave, like in many other aspects, guys that may do extreme sports, or engage in combat sports, or all kinds of, genuinely, they have nuts, they have balls, like but when it comes to doing a cold approach, like they're nervous and they get like anxiety and stuff like that. So it is kind of a bizarre, weird thing that guys can be very brave in other aspects of their lives, and then for approaching a chick, like they get real nervous and like they freeze up and think that it's a real scary thing to do. But the only way to do that, to get over that anxiety, is to approach it head on. um and that's why there is something to be said for doing, like, doing a boot camp, or doing some sessions when you first start doing day game. Like going out in your free time for a few hours, 2 hours or something, and just like going to a spot where there's a lot of chicks, like downtown. Ideally, it's very location is obviously hugely important. Like, there's just some guys, maybe even in this chat, I don't know, maybe you're living in a spot where it's really like you're not going to be able to do like much day game. Like, you can do day game anywhere, but that kind of like like spam day game, maybe it'll be hard because you live in a small town and you can't be just like, people be like, what are you doing? Like, dude, like, no. But ideally you want to be in a big city, a reasonably sized city, where it's like you can be somewhat anonymous and like make all these like if you're, the smaller the town you're in, the more you have to kind of incorporate day game into your like lifestyle. Ideally, like, that's the goal anyway, like to like have, just be like approaching women as part of your like routine or whatever. Like, you see a hot girl in the supermarket, you can approach her or whatever, wherever it may be on the street. But at the start, it can be very beneficial to just like, if you just really want to learn quickly, to make like, as you go out some weekend, on a Saturday, Sunday, wherever your free time is, and just like, approach as many girls as possible, and in different kinds of locations. Not the same. Like, not always on the street, like, in a coffee shop, in the park, you know, even make it like search for approaches that are awkward, like approaches that you don't want to make. Try and do it just so you can challenge yourself, and then you'll overcome it and you'll feel good. Like even when the like what I've noticed is, I remember when I first started doing it, I remember sometimes the interaction would be real awkward and it didn't feel good. But then after I did it, even if I didn't get the number, I always felt good because I always like knew that like I did it, even though I didn't, even though I knew it was, I didn't feel like like I wanted to. She was hot. I absolutely wanted to approach, but I knew that it was going to be awkward, or I knew that it was going to be a difficult approach. But at least I tried, right? At least I didn't let that girl that I really wanted to fuck, like, slip away without even trying. That's the worst feeling, actually. That's a really annoying feeling. It's when you let a really hot fucking girl that ticks all your boxes and that is really your type slip away, and you didn't even try. You don't even get your you don't even the thing is, you could have gotten with her, but you're too much of a pussy to even like approach, so you let her slip away. You get me? So that's why it feels better to get rejected than it does to not even try. I mean, you just feel kind of lame when you know you wanted to approach, but you just like you overthought it and you just let it, and you missed your opportunity. Um, you know, hesitation is the mother of all fuck ups. Um, you don't want to be hesitating. Um, you want to be just going in there. Um, and if you really want to start off like, beginner level, just start talking to people in general. Not only hot chicks, but just try and like spark up conversations with if you really are extremely anxious about socially awkward kind of person, start getting used to like talking to people, like cold approaching people in general. It doesn't have to be a chick. It can be just anyone. You can talk to a dude, like, hey, what's up, man? What are you up to? Like, get used to social skills. Get used to having short, shooting the shit conversations. Like, because a lot of my pickups, a lot of the conversations I have, they're very short. Um, it doesn't need to be this long, drawn out long conversation. It's fine sometimes if you have a good connection, you're free, and you want to do an insta date. You can like have one of those longer. Maybe the longer the conversation, the higher the retention probably. No, I would say definitely. Um, well, it can be. It can and it can't. Sometimes you could spend like it depends on her body language. It depends on her receptivity. Like you can have a 20-minute, a half an hour conversation with a girl and she'll engage with you, but she mightn't be that interested. And you've just wasted 20, 30 minutes talking to a chick for no reason. So that's something to consider as well. But you get better with over time by reading these reading these chicks, um, reading their body language and understanding their interest level, um, and not wasting time. So yeah, you just get better with having these kind of 2-3 minute conversations with people, up to you know only having these conversations with hot chicks. um you can go from just talking to people, shooting the shit, not even, and if it can be location, appropriate. For example, the thing is, like, when you're making the first thing you say to a girl, it doesn't all it is an icebreaker. There's no pickup line. There's no like, oh, perfect script. It's like all you're doing is like you're just starting a conversation with someone. Like you're just like, hey, what's up? What are you up to? Like you can do that. You can just go up to someone and say, "Hey, what's up? What are you up to? Um, where are you from? What, you know, whatever." But I mean, if you're not even comfortable with doing that, if you're like, "Oh, like oh, I can't just go up to someone and say what's up," like you know, it can be location appropriate. You know, someone's outside a coffee shop. You say, "Hey, how's the coffee in this place? You know, how's you know, what's it like? I've never been here." Anything is fine. Like really anything is fine, and you just you know basic shit like basic introductions. That's all it is. Basic like what's your name? Like what are you doing today? What do you do? Um, you know, and then you just get better at it. You just get better at figuring it out, freestyling, uh, challenging yourself. Uh, you know, it really you just get better at freestyling and doing it completely naturally over time. Um, uh, let's see. It is what it is. Says I literally have said your shoes untied. Yeah, I mean that's a good opener actually. I mean you can just you know you're helping them out. You know, let's see. Iowa X says, "Do you snap a picture to go with the girl?" Um, I mean, what I do is I when I add their Instagram or their line, I screenshot I screenshot it because um I need to remember because like you know I'll have like you know I might have yeah I've hundreds if not I think I have over 1,000 like contacts in my line. So yeah, if I yeah, they'll get lost in the pile. When I add someone online, particularly, it's annoying because I have to screenshot it because if I add them and don't send them a message or whatever, I can send them a message or screenshot it. But if I don't do either of those, it'll just add them and put them into my contacts list without putting their name. I've lost girls actually before that I've actually had good interactions with because I didn't screenshot or send them a message immediately. So I've gone, cold approached them, had a good interaction with them, very receptive, added their contact, and then they get put into my contacts, and I've no idea. I can't remember what her name was, and you know, even if I do, sometimes it's in kanji or in you know, they don't write their real name, and then they're lost. So yeah, always send them a message immediately, like while you're talking to them, just like send you know, or screenshot um their profile when you add them. Yeah, it's a good point. Recently, recently I've started to. Recently, I prefer. I'm preferring to add chicks on Instagram. I'll tell you why because it can be kind of more satisfying. So, you know, I talked earlier about you know you need to rinse your contacts, right? And we all know about no free attention. So the thing about Instagram is you can add them, you know, you add them, you rinse them, as in you invite them on dates 3 times maximum. Maximum. That like 3 times is that almost I've said before, 3 times is almost pushing it. Like sometimes once or twice you get the idea, you know, if girls leave you on red or if they don't even read your message, that's yeah, you can maybe one or two more messages, but that's you know yeah, that's why I say 3 times maximum. Like it's a 3 times if they're kind of receptive, like once or twice if it's like if she's ghosting you or leaving you on red or stuff like that. um in a case where you know you invite a girl 3 times, it could be a thing where it's like she's being responsive, like she's replying in a timely manner, but she's making excuses. stuff like that. You can invite her maybe again and once more, so like 3 times. But that's like really, that's even, like I said, that's even pushing it. But after that, what you do is you don't get emotional. The reason I like Instagram is because you unfollow them, and you just don't, you delete their messages, so they're just not in your view. You're not viewing them, and that sends them a message that you're just like, they lost their chance. Like they're they're getting no more free attention. They're out. They're out of it. They're cut. Like, and I like that. I like that. You can't get the same thing with, you can't give this, you can't deliver the same message with messaging apps. You can't do it because they don't really know. Well, you can block them, but it's like, it's not as satisfying, because the thing about Instagram is they can still follow you and see, you don't get emotional about it. Like, you're not like getting angry about it, but they can still follow you. But what they don't know is they're permanently, like, they're never going to get a date. Like, they're permanently, like, they've missed their chance because you've already offered them a date. But now, since they didn't play ball and they were maybe even rude, or they left you on unread, or they showed little interest, you now know that they have little interest. So if you're not going to go to the trouble of taking them, you're certainly not going to go to the trouble of taking them on a date, and then wasting your time because they've showed little interest. So what they're permanently relegated to Netflix and chill. Like, even if they hit you up and are like, a few, like, months later or whatever, you remember this chick. Oh, this chick didn't play ball. She was like, she left me on unread, or she made excuses. But now she wants a little bit. Like, now she's interested for some reason. It's like, nah, bitch. Like, it's like, okay, you can come around. Like, if she starts hitting you up, maybe some girls will react to your story or whatever. She might say, hey, she might slide into your DMs again. But at that point, you've already unfollowed her. Like, she knows that. These chicks know that. That's the funny thing. But yeah, that's the reason I like Instagram. That's what, these days I'm exclusively using my Instagram, just because I like that. It's like, you rinse them out, you check if they're down, and then you just unfollow them, cut them if they're not, and then you don't build up you don't have all these stale contacts. I like it indeed. And I recommend it, to be honest. Another, it is what it is, says, usually the easiest is to have them send you a pic that they choose for their picture on your phone, which can be a clue from what kind of photo they will send you, if they are really into you or not. That's a good point. Yeah, it is a good point. Another small tip I would suggest is, when you are exchanging contacts, just make sure that make them add you, actually. So you give them your QR, you show them your QR code, so they add you, and you don't follow them until they follow you. So that'll also give you an indication of whether to bother. Like, if they're interested, they will, obviously give them your QR code, they'll click on your profile, but they still have to click the follow button. So if they don't click the follow button, you like that they followed you. So if they follow you, follow them back. And then, you slide in their DMs, invite them on a date, maximum 3 times, like maximum. That's pushing it. But only in certain circumstances would you invite them 3 times. Sometimes, okay, if you get left on red or they don't respond, unfollow them. Boom, out. But yeah, these are small details, but actually they're very, very helpful. Yeah, so absolutely no free attention. Stack up the context, like, be clinical about this shit, and when you're clinical about it, when you're like ruthless, when you're like, just like, no fucking bullshit, I'm not putting up with shit, like, because there's one thing, like when you're living the player lifestyle, like when you are actually like genuinely like smashing, like you're gonna deal with bullshit. Like you're gonna deal with flakes. You're gonna deal with like hopefully you're not gonna get deal you're not gonna get stood up because there's ways to counter that. Um, but you'll deal with flaky chicks. You'll deal with like the girls canceling you. You'll deal with that kind of shit. You're gonna come across it. If your game is tight enough, if you're high value enough, hopefully it will be reduced. It will get reduced, but you're always going to deal with it, just because it's just female nature. Female, um, it's the times we live in. But yeah, there's no doubt about it. There is no doubt about it. You got to get to if you want to sleep with a variety of women, or you want to source new women, the best way to do it is obviously cold approach, and you have to overcome uh, approach anxiety, and it feels good actually. Like I said, it feels good even when you get rejected, because at least you did it. That's what's interesting about it, is like even when you do, you might think, oh, getting rejected sucks, but actually sometimes it feels like it's more of it's a relief, because it's like, actually she was so fucking fine. If I didn't approach her, it would have been like, I would have been pissed at myself. I would have felt like a pussy. The worst thing is, if like when you don't approach because you like, the only reason you don't approach is because you feel nervous to do so. That's like, you don't want to be in that spot. But yeah, guys, I don't know. The best way to go out there is just go out and fucking throw yourself at it, throw yourself into it, and that way, you just because you can go out there and read all the books you want, re-listen to all the podcasts, listen to all of my YouTube live streams, which you should. um, but nothing will beat getting out there yourself and learning for yourself, um, and just getting doing it yourself. Um, if you have someone to show you, someone to give you tips, then great. But ideally, what you want to do is you want to listen to my advice, and you want to take action as well. Because listening to advice is obviously common sense. It's not enough. You have to take action. You know, you could read all the fucking business books in the world, but if you don't fucking start doing something, you're not gonna make a business, are you? So yeah, guys, um, hopefully this episode has been informative. As usual, like, comment, subscribe. Check out the links in the description. If you're interested in a consultation, hit me up anytime, and I'll be back on Wednesday night for another episode. Wednesday, yeah. Well, what my Wednesday night? Your Wednesday, 6 a.m. Central Time. So yeah. Until then, peace out, guys. Have a good day. Bye bye.